him from the yard.
This is Don the Diecast Pirate, and today we have the Diecast International builders. November build is the Pontiac. And the car that I chose for this is one I got a while ago that I really wanted to build. And we did one for the subscriber's choice, and I really had an idea that I wanted to do with this car. And then the other day, I was at Goodwill and I found a dollar bag of cars, and there was a second GTO in it. And I got to thinking about what car I wanted to build. I was only going to build one car for this one. And I picked out the car that I wanted to build, and I started looking at pictures of it and realized that there's two versions of that car. And I'll just put it out there right now. We're going to build the GTO from the movie XXx. And the car in that movie had a removable hardtop. So I think we're going to build one regular and one we're going to chop the top off of. Make it a convertible. So let's get these babies up on the turntable and see what we're working with. So here we have them. You know, one's like a whitish color with the green, one's the purple with the white flames and everything, and that's got to go for what we're doing. I did pick out a wheel and tire combination for the one before I knew I was going to build the second one, and these really look like the wheels on that car, but I don't know if I have a second set, so I may have to change what we're going to do here. Let's just pull these out. And see if there's any more in here that look like that. Just in a glance. Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing in that whole thing that looks like these. So maybe I'll take a look at what these look like on one and we'll pick something different for the other. Or maybe we'll just use something that matches both since it's supposed to be two versions of the same car. So let me get these torn apart and we'll see what we're dealing with. Okay. So let's get these apart. I think I got them drilled enough. I seem to remember that first one I did may have had problems on this front post again. So this one looks before I put the drill down. And the back one looks fine. This front one probably some more. Alright, see how that does. Whew. And that comes apart now. Oh. Must have been afraid of going too much on this one, huh? There it goes. We got that popped loose. Let's pop this one loose too. If we can. There's still too much post left on the front. I did not just do that. That didn't happen. Alright. So that drill bit just went between the base and the post and ripped a huge gash in there. All's not lost. We'll sort that out. So here's the two bases, and obviously this one's all rusted up and everything, and we'll get the wheels and tires out of there because we're not going to use those on either one. We'll get those in the super clean, get those stripped down, ready for paint and whatnot. The interiors, I'll have to look at those pictures and see what color the interior is. I think the interior is black in that car. So both of these will get cleaned up. Will get cleaned up and primered and painted. And then the glass in this one is really dirty. Doesn't look to be scratched at all, which is a good thing. So that should clean up nice. And this one's in much better condition. So we'll get those cleaned up. Get these posts cleaned up. Get these stripped down. And yeah, that's looking really good. I was hoping, so I was wondering if these C pillars will be B pillars on this car, if they were solid or not, and they are. So when I cut that back, let's just toss the interior back in this for a second. Actually, you know what we might do is cut this glass down for the convertible. Huh. So again, there's a gap. Looks like there would be a gap between the edge of the back seat and the window opening. Which we can see right there. Probably just need to cut a piece of styrene to fit in there to bring that, to close that up some, and that should be pretty straightforward. So these wheels out of here. We'll get these in the super clean. We'll get the top and window cut for the convertible, and then we'll get things stripped down. And yeah, I'll be back. Alright, so I think I left off with heading to take these to the stripper. And I may have come back and shown something. I don't remember, but we're going to get into paint either way. And since we're going to be making the XXX GTO, the two versions of it, the version that had the roof in the movie before the last final scenes along the river. And interestingly, if you look at the back of this car, how that is right there, I was watching part of a video of Jay Leno's garage where the guy who actually owns the convertible car that was used in the movie that did all the stunts, there were practical effects that were built into this car. And originally the car was a hardtop. See, the convertible wouldn't have this here. And then for the movie, they cut the roof off of not a convertible, it was a coupe, right? So they cut the roof off, and where that metal was, they capped it off. So that's really cool that were able to reproduce that on this without even trying before I even knew. And here's the other thing. Okay, so you see how this looks right here, the way it is? That's all basically, I took the Dremel and cut that and used the side of the disc to get that to where it is, and then I just took a little file and cleaned up around the inside, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to go with the gray Stanley primer on this, and then wherever I put my Vallejo color shifting paints, the Stardust, here they are. So the electric blue and the intense violet, okay, which this is really the color that this car is in. If you remember back to the 3 Blind Mice build of the old Matchbox car, the police car, this is the color that I used on that, and this is really true to the color of the car. Now, that being said, there's a couple of things that I would have liked to have had more time to do this week on these builds. If you go over and watch, I'll put a link in the description to that episode of Jane Leno's Garage, so the scoop on the car was actually raised up, and they built up on top of the hood. And I have a 3D printer now, a resin 3D printer. I have not even pulled it out of the box yet. But if I had time to mess around with that, I would 3D print the scoops that go up top, and also side pipes, because the car had side pipes. Now, I do have some aluminum tubing, and we may see if we can do something with that, as long as it doesn't take too much time. And the reason I'm saying that, and I'll give you a little sneak peek, because if you guys follow me on Instagram, or you've seen my posts on Facebook, or you support me on Patreon, you've already seen pictures of this. But the Subscriber's Choice truck, this is the state it's in right now. So I'm gonna get these cars painted up and try and get them finished tonight and finish this truck tomorrow. But that's taken a lot of my time, all the fabrication I've had to do on that, and the custom work. And I mean, I just think it's really cool. When I originally watched this movie, I fell in love with the car, right? And so that's why I wanted to build it. And just, you know, the way things happen, and having two cars and being able to build both versions of it, and it won't be exactly true to what the movie car is. And, you know, honestly, I'm not going to build any of the gadgets or anything that go in the car, because the one thing that I didn't like about the car was all that stuff just took up the whole dash, right? It's like the whole thing. Like, how do you even use that? It wasn't even, it was too big, basically. It was too big, right? Now, it didn't have to be like James Bond, where everything's hidden and you press a button and things flip over and buttons come out and things like that, but I think it could have been done a little better. But that's just my opinion, right? I'm not the guy that made the movie. I'm not the director. I'm not the prop builder. I'm not the guy that built the car. That's just my opinion. So let's get this primer on here, and then we got to come back and paint it black before we put the color shifting paint on. And we're going to go with the Wicked Black. I'll get that out and get that mixed up. And also then, I'm going to explain everything now before we get going. I'm going to mix up the black primer, and we're going to paint the bases and the interior in the flat black, the black Januaray primer, so it'll be flat. And then we'll just go off of that for the rest of the car. And one thing that I did notice about that movie car, and we will end up doing, is it has that stainless steel across the bottom. Of course, we're going to Molotov it because that's what I have. So it'd be very similar to that Subscriber's Choice GTO. I may even pull that out at the end of this video. We'll see, just for a side-by-side comparison. I kind of want to look at it anyway, because I don't know if the wheels that I'm going to choose to put on this are the same ones or not. I don't think they are, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get on with it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to present to you the November Diecast International Builders Build Pontiacs. And we built two versions of the GTO from the movie XXX. So first we'll roll out the hardtop, and then we'll roll out the convertible. And I have to admit, I made a goof and actually super glued this wheel. I didn't want to move. It does roll now, but it turns very hard. So I was trying to be sneaky and use the regular super glue, ultra liquid control. Yeah, don't do that. Use the gel. Use the gel so it doesn't run. Let's get these up on the turntable and take a look at what they are, and we'll go from there. If you notice in the background there, I got a bunch of old Redline custom Barracudas sitting out there. I decided to get them all out and see how many I have and what's going on. So here we have them. You know, one's like a whitish color with the green, one's the purple with the white flames and everything, and that's got to go for what we're doing. I did pick out a wheel and tire combination for the one before I knew I was going to build the second one. Alright, so here they are, and you can see that color shift paint doing what it does. It looks so different. Let's get a different angle here. As we're looking down, you can see it really change from that purple to the blue. It looks so different from up top. Let's see if we can get it. I don't know. I'm really seeing it more in person than the camera's getting it. Oh. Maybe the camera's too close. Back it up, zoom in. This stuff really, really works great on curved surfaces. And like I said, you know, I didn't put the side pipes on or that raised hood scoop or put all the gadgets in. But these are two versions of the same car. I believe they built 5 cars for the movie, and they all started as hardtops, and I think there was one, and don't quote me on this, I think there was one that they actually cut the roof off of to make it the topless. It's not really a convertible, but there we have it. I did have those other wheels that looked more like the ones from the movie car, but I only had one set of them, so we went with these. So anyway, check out all the other builders with the Diecast International Builders build this month, and next month we have the holiday build, and I have something super special planned for that one, so stick around for that, and come join us in that build. All right, so Diecast International Builders, we got Peter at PB's Retro Restorations. I believe that's what they are. You know, I hate to tell you the wrong thing. I have something here I can look up real quick. Hey, PB's Retro Restoration. We have Matchbox Mark. That's Mark. We have Ron at Somo Diecast. Opod's Diecast Restorations. KC at Metal Mania 3D and the Diecast Workshop. That's a mouthful. And myself, Don, the Diecast Pirate. So, yeah, check out all the other builders. If you built with us this month and you don't have a YouTube channel, you can submit the pictures to us and we'll put them in the recap video. And my email will be in the description down below. It's diecastpirate@gmail.com. Check me out on Instagram. If you haven't followed me over there, check me out. I'm doing a lot of cool stuff over there, and I'd really appreciate your support on Patreon. So, as always, if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Click that like button, leave a comment down below, and ring the bell for notifications. As always, this is Don the Diecast Pirate, and I'll see you next time. There's still too much post left on the front. I did not just do that. That didn't happen.